Among the latest moves in Republican-led campaigns across the U.S. targeting LGBTQ+ Americans, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee has signed into law 2 bills that passed the state legislature last week. One restricting drag performances in public, and the other banning gender-affirming healthcare for transgender youth. Lee said the drag bill, which comes into effect April 1st, would protect children from being, quote, potentially exposed to sexualized entertainment, to obscenity. Speaking to reporters last week, Lee, a Republican, also addressed a surfaced high school yearbook photo that appeared to show him wearing a cheerleader's dress, a wig, and a pearl necklace, saying it was a ridiculous question when asked if he recalled dressing in drag in 1977.
I think it gets to the enormous hypocrisy here.
Michelangelo Signorile is a New York-based SiriusXM host, as well as a veteran LGBTQ activist and author. He sees the bills as both political and reactive.
In Tennessee, they are focused in on an attack on drag queens and banning or regulating drag performances as another way to pander to a base in the Republican Party that is very extreme and is pushing a very hateful agenda against LGBTQ people.
Civil rights groups and drag performers have noted that Tennessee, like other states, already bans obscenity in front of minors and calls the restrictions unconstitutional, vague, and redundant. The other bill bans doctors from providing gender-affirming medical treatment, such as puberty blockers, hormone therapy, and surgery to transgender minors.
Transgender people have come into the forefront more. They are asserting their rights. As with everything else with conservatives and unfortunately the Republican Party, they prey upon people's lack of information, lack of knowledge, and people, not really understanding things deeply.
The Tennessee bills are part of an upswing in Republican efforts to regulate the conduct and lives of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people. To Signorile, whose activism stretches back to the AIDS epidemic, the legislative actions will not have the effect lawmakers say is their intention.
That's what it's really meant to do, to make people constantly feel that they are not like everyone else and demonizing them. We see suicide rates among LGBTQ teens at a much higher rate. We also see violence, and you're whipping up the very violence that we've seen over and over again in terms of hate crime.
This is the moment Australian authorities dropped 1.2 metric tons of fake cocaine 40 miles off the coast of Perth. This scene at the end of December was a key part of a joint US-Australian law enforcement operation that seized nearly $700 million worth of cocaine linked to a Mexican cartel and resulted in the arrest of 12 suspects. On Saturday, Western Australia Police Commissioner Cole Blanche released details about Operation Beach.
We got some information from the Drug Enforcement Administration out of the Sydney office that approximately 2.4 tonnes of cocaine was going to make its way to Australia to be distributed throughout our country. The Drug Enforcement Administration sought the assistance of the US Coast Guard, and just off the coast of Ecuador, they took out packages equaling nearly 3 tonnes containing cocaine. We've used the quantity 2.4 because that's our estimate of the actual cocaine once you take the packaging away.
That cocaine was equivalent to roughly half Australia's estimated annual consumption.
Over a number of weeks, our officers from the Transnational Serious and Organised Crime Squad and other officers assisted to reconstruct those identical packages and drop 1.2 tonne of those drugs into the ocean 40 miles off the coast.
3 suspected members of the Australian arm of a drug syndicate were arrested on December 30th with the fake cocaine. They had allegedly made 3 trips through rough seas to collect the packages. A further 9 arrests have been made and a large quantity of cash seized. A 39-year-old male US citizen was among the 12 charged, police said. Blanche said the operation sends a message to international traffickers that your deadly drugs are not welcome here.